Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the radio station. The radio station of Battalion Wars is a program created by Fan Battalion and me. Fan Battalion is the guy who makes the script, let's say, and I am the guy who makes the interview. So it's a program that lets us discover and talk with all the creators or important members of the community. So in this episode, we will have as guest TBGhunter or TBG.
Hey, how's it going? It's nice to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So if you want to introduce yourself very quickly before we make the classic questions we do to every single guest in the radio station, and then we will go to second section focused on the TBG work in the community.
All right, so yeah, I'm TBGhunter. I'm a content creator going on about, as of this year, about 14 years. I've been a big fan of the Battalion Wars games for a long time since I was in my early teens, and I'm just surprised that when I played through the games, just it was like a one-off thing. It took off as it did, and several years later, I found the community, and the rest is history.
Okay. Um, I'm just gonna make a pause. Just a pause. Okay, so if you want, we can begin with the general questions. Um, so how did you find out about the Battalion Wars saga?
So I was introduced to the Battalion Wars saga through a friend of mine back when I was in early high school. I visited his house just for like some time, and during the time we played Wii. The game that we randomly popped in was Battalion Wars 2, and what really struck me was like the art style, the gameplay, and the like. And I thought to myself, "Wow, this really looks like Advance Wars." And then, sure enough, I found out that it was indeed a spin-off of the Advance Wars series, so I just had to get a copy of myself to try it out.
So you already knew Advance Wars before you discovered Battalion Wars.
Yes, I played through Advance Wars 2 for the most part, and also like I would say maybe in like mid to late teens, I managed to find a copy of Game Boy Wars for the original Game Boy or for the original Game Boy.
Okay, and you said that it was the art style that caught your attention with Battalion Wars. Was there another thing that caught your attention with Battalion Wars when you discovered it?
I would say also probably the the RTS aspect of it, where you're actually on the ground instead of being like up in the air guiding your forces. I don't know why, but the fact that you were like fighting alongside them really drew me to it because I just never seen an RTS or uh, tactics game that had that kind of combat style.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't have any game in mind even right now that mixes the controlling many units at the same time and using them like in Battlefield, for example. I mean, I don't have any game in mind right now.
The only game I can think of that's sort of like this would be the Frontline series, but I only played like one game in that, and that's about as close as I could get to a tactics game that you're fighting alongside. I guess also the Battlefront games as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And you said that you discovered the saga with Battlefield Wars 2. Have you played both? The GameCube
Yes,
one?
I played both and completed both of those games, and I still love them to this very day.
And which one is your favorite? And why?
As much as I love Battalion Wars 2, Battalion Wars 1 still does like the better mission structure, as well as a bit more of a coherent story.
Yeah, it's
Like
true
Battalion,
because in the first game you have like and Kupenik also said this in the radio station episode. You have a feeling of the story because you follow the adventure of the Western frontier, so it's more logical.
yeah. But in like Battalion Wars 2, where it's like you keep jumping to different nations, it kind of gets a little disjointed, but it's still not a bad thing.
Okay. So you prefer Battalion Wars 1. Okay.
Yes.
And what's your favorite nation and commander?
Well, it should be no surprise to anybody who watches my content, but my favorite nation is the Western Frontier. My favorite CEO is definitely Colonel Austin, just because he was always like that calm and collected commander that you got and wasn't one that always was constantly screaming at you over the radio.
Yeah. And I would say Exylvania and CO, I think Vlad. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Exylvania,
definitely.
people that follow even a bit my channel will know that when I play FIFA, for example, when I create a club, it's FC's Exylvania. So I'm like creating like a fictional Exylvania football club. It's really funny. Regarding Battalion Wars 1, what is the mission you like the most and the one you like the least?
Hmm. In terms of missions I like the most, it's definitely Call Sign Eagle. Just the unique nature
Yes,
of it really always draws me to it, and the fact that it's also sort of an Advance Wars callback with
it's
its title and style.
that
Sorry.
mission is so fun. You don't know how many times I have played that mission.
Yeah, another good thing about it is the mission itself, its music, got repurposed into the Anglo Isles theme.
Yes, true. And what's the one you like the least?
Hmm. Now, if we're talking about main story for one, it would have to definitely be Operation POW. I've said it on many times in many videos in the LPs that I've done of Battalion Wars. I'm not the biggest fan of recon controls. I absolutely hate them, and it's just the stiffness of it. It just kind of kills that mission for me. If we're talking in terms of like both like main story or the bonus missions, I'm just separating them because they're optional. Definitely the campaign 2 bonus. As much as I love the Excavating Nation and wish they would finally get their own campaign in the series, I still hate that mission to no end because of the transport copters just escaping in the most
The
ridiculous ways
countdown,
possible.
yes. The countdown is horrible. You can't explore the map. You can't enjoy the moment. You have to do your mission and that's all. If you wanna just go everywhere with a tank, you can't.
Yeah, and
And
also it kind of railroads you to having to play as an anti-air vehicle in that mission. Can't let really like play with other units because of the fact that anti-airs usually are the last of your units that fall behind you, and it just takes forever for them to get to the transports to shoot them down if you order it. So unless you're taking direct control of one, they're almost always going to escape.
yeah, true. So you're forced to use it, and it's pretty sad. I also remember the mission with the Solar Empire. I mean, it was cool when you have the fighters. It was really cool. But before that, the bombers everywhere. It was very stressful. But
Honestly, I kind of funnily like that mission just because of its chaotic nature.
I don't know. It's cool. I mean, it's challenging, but man, it's hard by moments. But I think the prize, it's how do we say, proportional to the challenge because the fighters are
Oh yeah.
so good to pilot. The Solar Empire one, they are amazing, and it's the only time where we can use them.
Yeah, which sucks because I really would like some more missions where we could fly around in those things.
Yeah. And regarding Battlefield Wars 2, so same question. Which campaign do you like the most and the one you like the least? I mean, campaign or mission?
Campaign I like the most would definitely be the Anglo Isles. They have probably the best missions in the game, the best music in the game, and aside from Operation Reprimand, I can't really think of a mission that I kind of don't like or don't anticipate playing through.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the least favorable campaign for me, as much as I hate to say it, the Western Frontier.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a blow even to me, but the main reason why is just because of the fact that every single mission, it's only 3 missions long, which is kind of like a detriment to the flashback missions, but also B, every single mission results in you having to do stuff under a time limit.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
I never figured it out, but it's true. I mean, the first one, wait, the
yeah,
first
the
one
first one you
is.
gotta once you get the
Oh yeah,
stuff, you
the
gotta race to
airbase.
get to
Yeah,
the
the airbase.
airfield.
The second
That's
one
like
is the T-copters. The third one is the HQ. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it doesn't give you a chance to explore, especially with the first mission, because it's like probably the biggest map that they have in the game.
Yeah. And for the missions?
For the missions, my
Mm-hmm.
favorite mission would definitely be the final Anguiles mission. Just because it's a big, wide open battlefield, you get fighters and bombers to play around with, and it's just probably one of the most fun missions and one like the most like open, large scale battles inside Battalion Wars 2.
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite mission
Hmm.
would probably be the last Frontier mission.
Oh
That's too
yeah?
small. Yeah, and that's
Wow.
just
I because I know from the radio station that a lot of people, some people said that their favorite mission was the third one of Western Frontier, and it's in my top because you have a lot of facilities. You have counter attacks. I mean, just one, but it's okay. You have a big roster, so you have to explain us, TBG, why.
okay. So it also goes back to my issue with like the Frontier campaign being that at the end you're under a
Yeah,
time limit, but also with the fact that there's just so much going on at the very end. It doesn't give you a whole lot of time to prepare because like you got the battleship,
true.
you got all those towers, you got all those emplacements, and you just gotta basically you don't really get a chance to strategize. You just have to rush your troops in, take
Yeah,
out what
true.
you can, and then just take the HQ.
It's true.
And like, but we're like with like the first Frontier mission, like you get the setup, you got plenty of time to get your troops into place and hit the counterattacks that come towards you. I feel like if the final Frontier mission gave you artillery as well as a tank, I would like it a little bit more. There's just not really a whole lot of like long distance attackers to make that final like push to the HQ enjoyable for me.
Okay, I can understand. Um, have you played multiplayer?
I have.
And have you ever participated in a tournament or a league?
I unfortunately have not had a chance to participate in any tournaments.
And are you considering to play multiplayer soon? I mean, with
Oh, most definitely. I would love a chance to replay the multiplayer, like in the special version that the community built after the Nintendo Online kind of
oh
died
yeah,
for Wii.
that's why because you are playing on PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think they all know because it's funny because in the Discord at the beginning, um, before I was getting, let's say, popular, when there was a problem with the ZY patch, Moldy just sent the tutorial, the video. And now every single time everybody's having a problem, they just tag me. There's LGG, just talk to him. So I mean, everybody will already know, but if you want to set up a ZY in less than 10 minutes, I mean, we can do it after. We can even play if you want a
No,
bit.
that would be pretty nice.
So that will be another video, so another registration by the Battalion Wars Monday video. So what's your favorite mission from the multiplayer, if you
Favorite mission
remember?
from it would definitely be the last of the skirmish missions, battle stations.
Oh yeah, okay. I will play that one. And do you consider yourself good? Did you have any stars when you were in the Wii or?
I believe if I remember right, I had 2 stars under my name when I played through the Wii's online multiplayer.
Okay.
I
Uh,
wouldn't
s-
consider myself good, but I think I'd be at least passable.
okay. Well, we will see. So now let's let's project ourselves. So, do you think we will ever have a remastering of the Battalion Wars Saga or Battalion Wars 3?
Honestly, this is just a fool's errand on my end. I'm still holding out hope that we either get like a remaster or a continuation. I love this series and I just want to see the final conclusion to it. And with the fact that there have been like so many games as of late getting like the remaster, the remake, and like the getting brought back treatment, I could definitely see this being brought back at some point in the future.
Okay. And do you think that the launch of the Advance Wars reboot campaign 1+2 for Switch will have an impact, or it's says something about the future of the saga, or
I could definitely see that 1+2's reboot camp definitely helped get the Wars name out there a bit more. I know some people who never heard of the Wars series and a chance to play through it, they realized how good the series was. From what I heard, Reboot Camp didn't sell well, unfortunately, and that's just a kind of a fault of the fact that that series is cursed.
ah,
and but some people don't like 1+2. I personally enjoyed my time playing through it, and if more love gets put into it, I could see the War series getting revitalized and maybe leading to like a re-release or remake of Battalion Wars.
yeah, maybe. We all hope it will happen someday, but we don't know. So, talking hypothetically about Battalion Wars 3, what things would you add, keep, or remove?
Hmm. If I would have to add, I would say probably bring back the cut units and put them into the game, like the shotgun vets, the APCs, maybe some things from uh, Under Fire. Like some of the vehicles in there were pretty unique looking. For removing, I would say probably to remove would be like the ultra powerful units, like the staff bearer and stuff. Like I don't know why, but something like that kind of always like felt weird to me playing through Battalion Wars 2. Like one was ridiculous enough, but it was still somewhat grounded in the reality.
Okay.
But like two, where it's like the whole like Solar Empire had a doomsday weapon built and was like used once and never again, kind of felt weird to me.
And talking about the mechanics, was there something that you didn't like from the games and you would like
Mechanics
to remove?
wise, it's not really so much remove, but bring back moving specific units to specific spots from one,
Yes, that would
but
be
keep like
helpful.
the sentry command from two as well,
Okay.
or guard. I
Um.
forget the specific name of it.
Ah, I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. And do you think that Battalion Wars game today will be valued as it deserves?
I believe so, yeah. From what I've seen, like some people who stream it, they enjoy their time with it, and I feel like if it was like released today or continued to today, I feel like there'd still be at least like a very like decent cult following of it that would uh sing its praises and would be like, oh, you should really try this out. This is something new and unique because of its unique nature. I could see it getting like uh being very valued for what it is.
Yeah, I also think that this game is pretty unique in its formula because we don't have games like that right now.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
um, I mean, right now games really need very good ads and advertising, I
Yeah.
think, and with the social media, etc. So Battalion Wars would need a huge advertising campaign to be at least seen, because people won't pay attention to the little games that are presented in the little Nintendo Direct when everybody's expecting the new Zelda or Pokemon game,
Yeah, definitely.
and it's
It needs
sad.
like a push about as big as like a Zelda, Kirby, Pokemon game out there to be seen as much and be like invested in.
Yes, or for example, a solution could be that a really known YouTuber plays the game, for example, like
Hmm.
a discovery video. But maybe in the future, we will keep the hope. Hope is the last thing that will remain. How did you find out about the Discord server?
So it's actually kind of a funny story. It was just on a random day that I was like, it was back when I was really big into reading up on speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of curious to see what a speedrun of Battalion Wars, if somebody did it, was. And so I went to speedruns.com. I looked up Battalion Wars, and I saw the numbers, and then I saw a little link down there that said to join the speedrun community. So I figured, you know what, might as well, just to see how some people have been able to run through the game. And then through that community, I was introduced to the Battalion Wars main community.
Ah, okay. So it was because of the speed run.
Yep.
Okay. Of all the projects that have been carried out or are being carried out in the Battalion Wars community, which ones have caught your attention the most? So we have for example the Kupanik or Xeno custom missions. We have the models that Yoshi 2 is making. We have the drawings and the images on Sprocket made by Jake, also known as the Tank Master. We have Benton 3D figures. We have the 3D figures of FC, and we have the Warthog or Mr. Wiener cursed videos.
That's a tough one because the community has definitely done a lot of like really good custom work and like fan work of this series. I would have to say Kupanik's custom missions is definitely the one that caught my eye the most. The fact that they've been able to just make that game dance to their tune and make such like unique missions and rework old ones and like completely like change the landscape and how they played definitely caught my attention. And hopefully one day when Coop finally gets that like campaign done, I would definitely like to get my hands on it to play around in it.
I mean, I couldn't wait, so I played the 8 or 9 missions he has already done. But I'm really excited for the Exylvania campaign because he did the first one because it's Beachhead. Beachhead is the first mission against Exylvania. So in the Kupanik custom campaign is the first Exylvania mission. So I'm really excited for the Exylvania missions because, as you all know, Exylvania is the best. It's the GOAT. But okay. So now we are moving on to the second phase of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say that in the community you are known for being an active member, and also for your YouTube videos of Battalion Wars and Advance Wars. So how did you start on YouTube?
So I started on YouTube roughly, about 14 years ago, back in 2010. It was just some random that came up to me, and I decided, you know what, I wanted to try my hand at doing Let's Plays. So I started out with playing the original Paper Mario on the N64.
Mm-hmm.
And I slowly started growing. I jumped into Zelda, which not really the best of my work, and I would love to hopefully one day go back and like redo that game of all things. And then after that, I decided, you know what? I really like Battalion Wars because that was when I finally found a copy of the first Battalion Wars game. I'm gonna make that my next series. And then after that, I don't know why, but it just exploded in popularity. And to this day, I still don't know how that became so popular. And it's just like, it took off, and I just continued working more on videos.
The algorithm, it's mysterious.
Yeah.
What do you like and dislike most about uploading videos on YouTube?
What I like uploading is the work I put into uploading. I like going into like the background stuff of games. Like if you watch the Battalion Wars like replay I did not too long ago, I went into like the early builds of the game, the cut units, some changes that were made, and it's definitely like something I really like doing. I love to research the stuff that I play through to get a better understanding of where it first came from and how it became what it is today. Definitely my least favorite thing about uploading would be the algorithm, because at times it can be very friendly, but other times it can be probably your worst enemy as a content creator.
I can relate, yes. What type of video games do you like the most?
Definitely would be strategy RPGs and adventure games. Those are usually like the big three that I always play through.
Okay. Is there any game that you're playing a lot lately?
So far a lot lately. Advanced Wa- Advanced Wars Reboot Camp. I'm still working through getting all the side content knocked out. But mostly I'm more of a variety person, so not one thing really grabs my attention. I kind of like jump to from thing to thing to see what really sticks with me.
Hmm. It's funny because I'm a big Battalion Wars fan, and I didn't play Advance Wars. Never. Yeah. Sorry to shock you, all of you, but no, I've never had the chance. So I'm planning to buy the Switch version.
Okay.
Um. So since we have seen how you published different images in the Gorkisburg section about, because we have seen Baton Wars maps with advanced wars aesthetics, and
Hmm.
some loose images of a Solar Empire gunship or soldier units. So, are you working on something related to this, or it's just a creation and nothing else?
It was just basically a fun creation. The Battalion Wars maps with the Advanced Wars aesthetics was what I used as border art because I didn't have the game in like wide view. So there was just these like two like dead zones on the sides that were just completely black voids. I didn't want people to just look at nothing, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna recreate the levels in an Advanced Wars style and just use that to fill the space.
Ah, that's clever. Okay. Um, and the last question. What projects would you like to work on about Button Wars or other things? Because there's a lot of going on in Button Wars with modding, uh, artistic streams, etc.
Definitely would just like to, just play through Advanced Wars games on streams. Maybe do like an Advanced Wars or Battalion Wars like themed charity event,
Okay,
where I play through and like people who donate would be able to mess with me in some sort of way.
okay,
Other projects I would like to do, like I remember like Pugums doing a custom like Battalion Wars spiritual successor,
yeah,
and what
the Terra Tactics.
yeah, Terror Tactics. I definitely would love to like do voice work for like the units that they put into that game, just to like say that I was part of a Battalion Wars style project.
Okay, well,
And oh,
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry. And I would just like to just like you know get the name of this game out there more and just show people what a fun experience it is.
Yeah. Well, what you can do right now after this video is to play Button Wars multiplayer with me on PC. The comeback of TBG. Um, so that was the last question. Do you have a message you want to send to the community?
Thank you all so much for being very welcoming to me and keep your heads. There's definitely a chance that we'll see a revitalization of this series. We just gotta hold
Yes.
out. If Advance Wars could make a comeback after that's like what almost a decade, then I could
Wow.
see Battalion Wars making a comeback as well.
Yeah. We will never lose the hope. That's the phrase of our community.
Never lose hope.
Um. Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to have you with me, and I mean the interview will end right now, but next week you will surely have, if we succeed in setting up Zwei with TBG, you will have a gameplay with him. So thank you very much to accept the invitation, and
Thank
see
you
you
so
next
much for
time.
having me.
And see you next time for the next radio station episode. Bye.